Okay, welcome to the Kane County Board meeting for Tuesday, August 12th, 2014. The Chairman Lausen is out of town, so he sends his apologies. I'll be running the meeting. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Ellen?
Present.
Auger?
Here.
Bavaria?
Here.
Castro? Here. Davis? Donahue? Here. Ford? Here. Rod?
Here.
Gillen?
I think she's in the back.
There,
In the donor room. Here. O'Shea? Kenyon? Here. Kazari? Here. Lash? Lewis? Molina?
Present.
Pollock? Here. Jeffro? Here. Silva?
Here.
Smith?
Here.
Sterrett?
Present.
Taylor?
Here.
Vasquez?
Here.
Winicki?
Here.
Lewis? Here. Cash?
and Jose.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. We'll proceed. We have a couple of important presentations we'd like to do today. I'll ask Mr. Halsey, the District Governor of the Lions Club, to, well, first of all, we have to do our Pledge of Allegiance. I'm sorry. Mr. Halsey will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And please stay standing after that for the prayer.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, please remain standing for the prayer. I will ask Mr. Gil Fonger to step forward. He's the CEO of Markland, to lead us in the prayer.
Let's pray. Dear God, we are meeting today to conduct matters of county business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Even though we may very well be of diverse mind, help us to work together for the greater good. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion that is pleasing to you. Thank you for being our supreme source of wisdom and guidance this day and every day. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you to Mr. Halsey and Mr. Fonger. I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of July 8th, 2014. Moved by Ms. Sterrett, second by Mr. Kenyon. Any questions, adjustments to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The minutes are approved. Now we have our two presentations. I'd like to ask Mr. Halsey and representatives from the Lions Club, as well as Board Member Taylor, and also our Deputy Clerk, Stan Bond, to meet me up in the front of the room here for a presentation.
The mayor of Elburn.
One of the representatives. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've asked Mr. Bond to read this because Stan actually initiated this recognition of the Elburn Lions Club, its 85th anniversary. Mr. Halsey is the district governor and part of the Elburn organization. I'd like to ask you to introduce your guest, our guest.
To my left, Lion Dave Anderson, past president and mayor of Elburn. Our club secretary, Lion Chuck Galaner from Elburn, and past president and literacy chairperson, Lion Joe Kreshak from Elburn.
Thank you very much. You know, when many service clubs around the country are struggling, the Elburn's Lion Club is just thriving. In addition to all the things they do behind the scenes that you maybe don't know about or have heard about, as far as locally in Elburn, a tangible thing that you can see is they have a 20-acre, I believe it is, park, 26-acre park right in the heart of Elburn. Elburn doesn't have a park district, so this is the hub of the community and has been for many years. They maintain it, and it's just a great asset to the community. And the resolution mentions many things. I'll ask Stan to read the resolution, and then maybe before that, Ms. Taylor will go over a few of the other things that I haven't mentioned about the Lions Club.
I have a little note, some notes about the Lions Club in Elburn. When you're looking at Elburn, you're looking at a population of how many, Mr. Anderson? 5506. Okay, so you got 5506 as a population in Elburn. And some fun little facts. The Elburn Lions Club is the biggest in the state of Illinois, the entire state. Out of 46,000 clubs worldwide, they are the 70th largest, the entire world. That's impressive. That to me shows that they are a united front together, and they definitely have momentum, and they all have the same beliefs of what needs to happen. Here's some of the things that they've done. They have helped with food pantries, multiple food pantries within Kane County they've supported. I know that because I'm one of them. They've also are responsible for making sure that all of the children within the Kaneland School District that are having visual issues that need glasses will be able to get glasses before they start school. Kaneland School District is the biggest geographic district in Kane County, so that's not a small undertaking. Another thing that they do the eye screening, and they do it at their own expense. They pay for all of it. They've raffled off a John Deere tractor many years ago, and that raised $300,000. Keep in mind, you're talking about a population of a little over 5,000 people, okay? The other thing, they have spaghetti dinners twice a month, and it's free to anybody that if they can't afford it, they can come have a spaghetti dinner. And it's wonderful, by the way, I can say that. You have had a senior Christmas dinner every year, as well as a veterans dinner. They're very conscious of more than just one little club. They definitely have taken it to the extreme. I have nothing but the utmost respect for all of you because you are a cohesive unit and you just continue. Your momentum is spectacular. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, well, we'll turn it over to Stan to read the plaque.
Whereas this year, the Elburn Lions Club is celebrating its 85th year of service to Kane County and to the surrounding area, including DuPage, DeKalb, and part of Henry counties. And whereas the Elburn Lions Club has grown to become the largest Lions Club organization in the state of Illinois. Whereas services of the Elburn Lions Club to Kane County and surrounding area residents include providing service dogs to youngsters in the Kaneland School District at a typical cost of $15,000 each, equipping and maintaining a popular 26-acre park in Elburn, including the installation of $15,000 worth of new playground equipment, and $10,000 donated to Gifford, Illinois, following the severe tornado damage last fall. Whereas the international president of Lions Club International will visit the Elburn Lions Club on August 9th, 2014, to commemorate the occasion of their 85th anniversary, and whereas the County of Kane wishes to express its appreciation for the many services of the Elburn Lions Club over the past 85 years, and to congratulate this volunteer group on this milestone anniversary. Now therefore be it resolved by the Kane County Board that congratulations and best wishes be extended to the leadership and volunteers of the Elburn Lions Club, along with our sincere thank you.
I'd just like to say that we're 185 men, women. We range in age from 18 years of age to our oldest member, Lion Cliff Johnson. A lot of you might remember him from Elburn. 98 years old. He was there Saturday night. And we all work as a team. We work well together. There is no individualism. We just want to do the best for those that need the help in our area and around the world. Thank you.
Before our guests leave, let's have a motion and a second to pass Resolution 14-230. Moved by Ms. Taylor, second by Mr. Kenyon. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Congratulations. Thank you.
On behalf of the Village of Elburn, I would like to say this, that the Village of Elburn would not be the Village of Elburn if it was not for the Elburn Lions Club. And the Lions Club would not be what it is today without its citizens. And guess what? This weekend is our big weekend. We hope to see you all there for the parade Friday night. Carnival, this is I believe it was Joe Krizak said this is the local piece of Americana. So we hope to see you all this weekend. Thank you again very much.
Thank you, Mary Anderson. The next presentation is I'm going to ask Mr. Gil Fonger and anybody else from Markland that may or may not have arrived to come up for a presentation. This is to the Markland organization. Markland provides services to special needs individuals. What I think is really neat, it's in my district, which represents the large unincorporated area of Mill Creek. And it's completely integrated into the community. It's not an institution set off by itself. It's part of our community, and everybody at Markland is one of our citizens and one of our neighbors. I'm also going to ask Mr. Donahue to step up, a longtime supporter of the organization, and he will read the resolution, which is also reflected on the plaque we're presenting. Mr. Donahue.
Okay, thank you very much. I've been honored to be involved with Markland. My family primarily involved with Markland as volunteers over several years, and we can't say enough about the organization and its leadership and the work they do for their residents. But I'd like to read the proclamation recognizing the 60th anniversary of Markland. Whereas Markland was organized as a result of nurse Claire and Stan Haverkamp providing foster care for a newborn baby with Down syndrome and severe cardiac issues in 1954. Whereas Claire and Stan Haverkamp began taking more medically fragile babies into their homes, eventually seeing the need to expand and build Markland's Children's Home in Bloomingdale in 1957. And whereas children began living longer due to specialized care being provided, and the Haverkamps outgrew their Bloomingdale location. Whereas adult clients were brought together in a new location on 25 acres on the western edge of Geneva, and whereas Markland at Mill Creek was opened in 2002 and today cares for 96 residential clients in the Markland Hyde Center building, which includes developmental training classrooms, therapy rooms, an aquatic therapy pool, and administrative offices. And whereas Markland employs 225 employees at the Geneva campus, making everyday life possible for individuals with profound disabilities. Now therefore, the Kane County Board extends its gratitude and appreciation to Gil Fonger, President and CEO of Markland, and recognizes Markland for its 60 years of distinguished and dedicated service to those in need from infancy to adulthood.
Thank you very much for this recognition. Mike and Carol Donahue were actually named our Friend of the Year back in 2012. They've been wonderful friends of Markland for many years. But I'd be remiss in not thanking the late Congressman Henry Hyde, who was instrumental in us obtaining the literally millions of dollars in federal and state funding that we needed in order to construct our 25-acre campus in Geneva. So the Hyde Center is appropriately named for the congressman. And so, as it was said in the resolution, Markland is named after our first client, Mark William Lund, which I think does say a lot about the profound respect that we show to the people that we serve. And so we are so grateful to the Kane County community that we've called home for the past 12 years, that has welcomed us, accepted us, and very much embraced this mission that Markland's been about for 60 years. So we're very appreciative of each of you for that public support. And we hope that you're going to come to our pancake breakfast on September 13th. And also last year, we started our first 5K that was done out of our Geneva campus, and we had 600 come to our inaugural 5K, and that's on October 28th we have. And we are going to be at Elburn Days. We will have our float at Elburn Days to also support our community. So we are so appreciative of all of you. Thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to many, many years of continued service to the residents of Kane County. Thank you.
I need a resolution on I need a motion on Resolution 14-231. I'll assume Mr. Donahue will move. Second by Ms. Starrett. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, next on the agenda, we have I'm going to ask Chief Judge Bracqua to come up with her staff, and they're going to give us a demonstration on an interpretation demonstration. In the judicial system, many of the people do not all speak English, so interpreting is a big part of one of the services we provide, and it's actually come up many times recently in our budgeting discussions because it's increasing in its needs. So I'll turn it over to Judge Bracqua.
Good morning. Chairman Chris Lausen gave permission for this demonstration of interpreter services. I requested this demonstration so that you could see the value of the services you must pay for. The cost of these interpreters will require approval of a supplemental budget. JM is a defendant charged with criminal sexual assault with digital penetration. He is not here this morning. He is in custody. He is presumed to be innocent, and the state's attorney must prove he is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. If he is found guilty, the law requires the defendant to go to prison. JM is deaf. English is not the native language of the country of his birth, where he grew up. He was never taught American Sign Language. In fact, he was never taught any sign language. Both state and federal law require interpreters for deaf defendants in criminal cases. An American Sign Language, ASL, interpreter is a person who can hear and speak fluent English. Is fluent in American Sign Language. And holds current certification. Only the most skilled ASL interpreters are certified to interpret in felony criminal cases. A certified deaf interpreter, CDI, is a person who is deaf and a fluent native user of American Sign Language. Has participated in interpreter trainings. And holds current certification. A CDI may use non-standard American Sign Language, visual mime or gestures, drawings, use of space, and props to enhance communication. Here are some of the props that these certified deaf interpreters use for JM. There are only 4 certified deaf interpreters registered and licensed in Illinois. Only 2 of those have the necessary training to interpret in JM's case. Because of the physical and mental effort necessary in the interpretation process, there will be a minimum of 6 sign language interpreters needed for the trial. These interpreters will work in teams and will consist of 2 sets of American Sign Language and certified deaf interpreters working as preceding interpreters, and 1 set of American Sign Language certified deaf interpreters working as table interpreters. Estimated cost for an 8-day trial is approximately $70,000 for interpreter services. That will conclude the demonstration for this morning. Thank you to our interpreters who were present for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. I asked the chairman if we could do this today because there was court hearings set today, so the interpreters are scheduled to be here as part of the proceedings then. I asked if they could appear before you because we are going to be coming this year, and already I can tell you now that we can see that our budget estimates for next year may be off. We already know that because of certain proceedings in this matter. And we felt that it was very important for you to see the effort and the necessity and what happens when we come and we ask for additional funds to help you put it in perspective. This was a rehearsed script. They had the script of what I was going to say to be able to prepare. A trial is not like that. And so if you think that it went a little slowly today when there's trials and they don't know what the answers or the testimony are, and they actually have all those exhibits. They've been working on this case intensely for the last year, which has already required a number of funds, and they don't have, though, as script for a trial. And so it takes a lot longer in the proceedings. It takes, obviously, the physicality of it. You didn't really see that because the interpreter didn't have an actual defendant that she was communicating with and going back and forth. If you could see them in the courtroom, it's literally exhausting because they move all over in the effort to be able to have this communication. And JM is not the only individual that we currently have that needs these services. And so we hope that you can appreciate the need that goes into the requests for budgetary items such as interpreters, and that you can appreciate the skill and the process that these folks go through in helping us fulfill our obligations under the law. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
So Chief Judge, just real quick, this would apply obviously to any language, right?
Well, because of the fact that this particular individual never learned sign language and there is an other language barrier, that requires those teams of two and the certified deaf interpreter. We don't have certified deaf interpreters for every deaf party who comes to court. And by the way, the law requires us to provide a deaf interpreter for anyone who comes to court who wishes to observe, who's a party, who's a witness, who's an interested family member. As long as we have advance notice, we're obligated to provide under the ADA as well as Illinois law. And so we don't provide a certified deaf interpreter with the demonstration that you saw and the explanation at the, is in every case. That's very rare. But when it occurs, it is very costly. And as I said, when they do a trial or a proceeding that goes all day, they can only work for a certain period of time, and then they have to have a team relieve them. And then there always has to be a team that talks to the defendant and the attorney. It has to be a separate team.
And the interpreters are provided through a service that we
Yes, we contract with the service.
Mr. Vasquez?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Question, Chief Judge. How many cases do we see in Kane County that are similar to this that need the specialized services? And then furthermore, how many other languages are we currently interpreting with? And does the state provide any funding as they're mandating?
To my knowledge, there's only been 2 cases where we've had to use a certified deaf interpreter, but I will check. Is that correct, Catherine? There's only been 2 cases. One is this felony. The other is a less serious charge that is not as costly because it doesn't take up as much time. And so we've been lucky so far in terms of the expense. In terms of languages in general, there's a significant and a vast amount that we sometimes have to call someone into court on for trials. We try to use something called Language Line, which is a service over the phone where you can dial in and ask for a language, but the more exotic the language, the more likely it is that they have to call you back. For example, if the language is something like Tigrinya, which is a dialect out of, I think it's Somalia or the Sudan, that isn't easily on the phone, but you can call and get almost all the European languages for a very brief wait. We have Spanish interpreters on staff and in the contract that's been bid out and that work the courts. That's the most frequent language that is needed for interpretation. There is some good news. The Illinois Supreme Court is working to standardize the requirements for qualifications for interpreters, and with that is going to be some funding. So there may be some state funding coming our way to help us to reimburse for these costs. But on criminal cases, required by law under the statute, and it's assumed by the counties, it's an unfunded mandate by state law and federal.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Ms. Taylor?
I do have one question. I assume one of the 2 people that you were referring to in the training was here today. One of the 2?
No, actually there had been a hearing that had been set. It proceeded yesterday, concluded yesterday, but they were contracted for today. And so we thought it was going to go another day. So that's why we just were going to have them here, and then they were going to go back to court. But they're not required now to go back to this afternoon.
Okay, looking at the expense, the daily expense of all of the different pieces that are involved in a court case, it would lead me to believe in order for you to organize and to line all this up, it takes time. Therefore, the defendant would potentially be staying with the county until you're able to organize and schedule all of the interpreters, correct?
That actually has not been an issue. The interpreters have made themselves very available. They've been very amenable in adjusting schedules. I cannot say that there's ever been a significant delay in terms of setting something for waiting for interpreters.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Chief Judge?
All right,
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Very enlightening. Thank you. Okay, are there any speakers here today on any of the agenda items? I do have some members of the Strail family signed up to speak. So I'm assuming you're here only if there's questions on the petition. Okay, thank you. Okay, hearing no speakers, we'll move on to zoning petitions. I'll turn it over to, we just have one zoning petition. I'll turn it over to Development Chairman Bararia.
Thank you. We do have a zoning petition number 4317. It's in Geneva Township. This is Old Second National Bank Trust number 6309. It's Windy Acres Farm. It's on the property located 37W446 Fabian Parkway, Section 17 in Geneva Township. The proposal is rezoning from F District Farming and F2 District Agriculture-related sales, service, processing, research, warehouse, and marketing to PUD to accommodate several existing residents, farmers market, and existing agricultural uses. It's on 18.76 acres. In the 2040 plan, it's resource management. There were no objectors. Staff recommended it as approved with approval. A regional planning commission not applicable, and the zoning board approved with the following Kane County Division of Transportation stipulations. Would you like me to read the stipulations?
No. You'll make the motion?
I make motion to.
Okay. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Ford. Discussion?
Just a comment.
Mr. Davis?
I've known this place and this family for a long time, and these are good neighbors and have provided a wonderful amenity to the community for many years, so I support their efforts there.
Others? Yeah, this Windy Acres has been there as long as I can remember.
Yep.
It's a vegetable stand, farmette, agri-tourism situation, so they're making some improvements and bringing some things up to compliance, and they have agreed with all the stipulations in the petition. So hearing no other comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Smith.
there was a stipulation added by the Development Committee that the petitioner was not purely in favor of. However, in the interest of expediency, they waived their objection. I just wanted to note that for the record.
Okay, so duly noted. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations. Okay, the next item is our consent agenda. Is there anybody that would like to remove any items from the consent agenda for discussion? Mr. Lewis.
14238. Yes, 14238.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
14233.
14233. Any others? Okay, then I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Taylor.
14237 and 14234.
Okay, any others? Then I'll ask for a motion approving the consent agenda with the exception of 14233, 234, 237, and 238. So moved by Mr. Vasquez, second by Mr. Ford. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Consent agenda, pardon me? do you want to do a roll call?
Yeah, get roll call.
I'm sorry, roll call on the consent agenda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Allen.
You always sit next to her.
Yes.
Barrio. Yes. Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Donahue. Yes. Ford. Yes. Gillen.
Yes.
Heyman.
Yes.
O'Shea. Yes. Kenyon. Yes. Kazar. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Pollock. Yes. Sheffler. Yes. Silva. Yes. Smith.
Yes.
Sterry.
Yes.
Taylor. Yes. Vasquez. Yes. And Winnick.
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes. I'm sorry, the consent agenda passes. Okay, we'll go back to item 14233, authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement to fund improvements in Settlers Hills Golf Club. And I'll turn it over to Mr. Davis.
Motion first. I'll move it.
Move it, second. Second by Mr. Donahue. Back to Mr. Davis.
Just to echo some of the comments in Forest Preserve earlier, that this has been a long time coming, and I think it's wonderful that we're keeping the promise. I think that was the key phrase that came up over and over, and Mr. Donahue's effort with the master plan there helped get some traction for something that it has been on my radar for many years, so I'm thankful for all the effort. I think this is going to be a wonderful thing.
Okay. I think everybody here would agree with you. Any other comments? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's got to be roll call.
Opposed, same side.
You gotta have a lot of roll calls.
We're going to roll call all four of these. Okay, roll call on 14233.
Allen. Aye. Auger.
Yes.
Barrio. Yes. Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Donahue. Yes. Ford. Yes. Gillen. Yes. Excuse me, Heyman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon. Yes. Kazari. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock. Yes. Sheffler.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Sterry.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
And Winnick.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 14233 passes. We'll move on to 14234, which is authorizing and adopting an electrical power aggregation plan of operation and governance for unincorporated Kane County, Illinois. Ms. Taylor moves it. Second by Mr. Kazarek. Discussion, Ms. Taylor.
I have a question. Amongst all of the process from when it started up until now, will there be a Kane County fee that will be attached that Kane County will be receiving regarding this?
Sure, we've never been quiet about, we've always disclosed that from the beginning in all the letters, everything else that's gone out. The fee is to recover the administrative costs associated with it. The fee will never be greater than, it's a very small percentage. It is going to be less than the savings that are given back to the owners.
Thank you. I live in a municipality,
Sure.
so I wouldn't have gotten any of the letters.
The idea was that this was supposed to be a revenue neutral idea to the county, where the county resources would then be recovered by those that are benefiting from it.
Thanks. That's all.
Okay, other discussion or questions? Clerk, please call the roll on 14234.
Allen. Auger.
Yes.
Barrio.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Donahue. Yes. Ford. Yes. Gillen.
Yes.
Heyman. Yes. O'Shea. Yes. Kenyon. Yes. Kazarek.
Yes.
Lewis. Yes. Molina.
Yes.
Pollock. Yes. Sheffler. Yes. Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Sterry.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Vasquez. Yes. Winnick.
Yes.
Okay, motion 14234 passes. We move on to 14237, appointment of a member of the Board of Review, Timothy J. Sullivan. Could I have a motion on that? Moved by Ms. Castro, second by Ms. Wonicky. Discussion, I believe, back to Ms. Taylor.
I have a question, and I'm glad that Mr. Armstrong came. I do have a question. Is this off the normal path of appointments? And I'm wondering how this particular person was chosen, and is he currently on the board now?
Yes, Mr. Sullivan is currently a member of the Board of Review. He served for several years. This is a routine reappointment because his term expired.
Okay. If his term expired, are there other ones that expired as well?
Not this year. They usually work 2 expire in 1 year, a third expires on alternate years because by statute they're 2-year terms, but they have staggered rates of expiration. By statute, they expire at the end of May, and this is simply a cleanup item to bring them on board for the new year.
That's all I needed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other question, Mr. Davis?
Just an oversight. We probably should have pulled 236 so that we would recognize that we just reappointed the best supervisor in the state with Mr. Armstrong.
I'd agree. And he just reaffirmed that. Mr. Kenyon.
I just want to say that I know Mr. Sullivan, and he brings excellent credentials to this office. You couldn't find a finer gentleman to do this. He's a perfect appraiser.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, clerk, please call the roll on 14237.
Allen. Auger.
Yes.
Barrio.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Donahue.
Yes.
Ford. Yes. Gillum.
Yes.
Heyman. Yes. Oshek. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
Kazari. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Pollock. Yes. Sheffro.
Yes.
Silva. Yes. Smith.
Yes.
Sterrett.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Winnicki.
Yes.
Okay, the motion carries. 14238. I'm happy Mr. Lewis pulled this because I was going to do the same. This is our authorizing a contract for court case management system. I need a motion by
I'd be
Mr.
pleased to
Lewis.
move it.
Second by Mr. Ford. Discussion back to Mr. Lewis.
So I want to recognize the many thousands of hours that have gone into the preparation of this resolution for this board. The stakeholders all are present here, and I've witnessed over the past 3+ years their commitment to this project and their cooperation amongst themselves, and it's been very encouraging to see this degree of cooperation. I view the court case management system, we're going to invest, this is $6.02 million for Tyler Technologies, a good outfit out of Texas. They've done a lot of work, and we've got another $650,000 or $80,000 of contingency on top of this. So it's about a $6.8 million resolution today. And I have to tell you, I view this investment of this county board to be one of the most significant investments that I have been a part of since I've been on the board. I believe it is going to significantly improve the performance of our entire public safety function, and it absolutely meets the requirements of today's current judicial environment as well as the future. So I congratulate the stakeholders, and I congratulate this board on supporting this very good initiative. So look forward to voting affirmative.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. I agree with you 100%. And Chief Judge Brock was here. Would you care to make a few comments?
On behalf of the 16th Circuit, judges and staff, we would like to thank the board for the willingness to address this very serious issue. For years and years and years, this was a point of dissension in terms of litigation and an inability to resolve an issue in the best interest of the public that we're all obligated to serve and spend their dollars wisely. And even though this is a very large investment, I think that we are spending their dollars wisely for the future, and there will be benefits that will be reaped. And since it's really the court cases that we're managing, we appreciate that we are going to be able to bring you better information and serve the public better, and your willingness to invest in that on behalf of your constituents. So thank you.
Other comments? Mr. Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I, too, would like to congratulate our judicial system. I've had the pleasure of being part of this, some of these meetings on the commission, and it's awesome to see them work together and stay on track for the bigger project. I believe I remember hearing something about another county that tried this, and they got to this point and they couldn't agree, so it didn't go any further. And I'm really proud of our judicial system, but I don't want to forget about Roger in our IT department that had to be able to explain over and over again the details of this exhaustingly and for everybody to try to understand it. So Kane County should be very proud of himself getting this far. To me, this is a minor cost. I know it's a big number, but it's a minor cost because until we get this up and running, we're not going to be able to appreciate all the positive things it's going to bring to our county.
Thank you, Mr. Ford.
I can say something.
Go ahead.
I think I've been a practicing lawyer in Kane County, as many of the people on the board have, some of us. And I've tried a lot of cases in Kane County, and this is a huge deal. I know it's important in terms of the cost, but in terms of providing to the citizens of Kane County, people that I represent, this provides access to justice. And it provides access to justice, I'm sure Tom Hartwell, our clerk, can tell you this, in a very positive way. And this can't come soon enough. And as a former president of the Bar Association, I applaud Judge Braca and the county board for getting this done, because it's very important to Kane County citizens. Thank you.
I had the pleasure of being involved in a couple of the trips to look at a few of the companies that were vying for this position, Tyler being one of them. And actually the final, I believe it is 3 or so vendors, since we've chosen Tyler, have actually changed their business model and moved away from this. So it was a great vindication. We do have a representative with Tyler Technologies here today, but I'm extremely comfortable with this decision, and Tyler is emerging as the market leader. So I think we can all be very proud of the elected, countywide electeds, the department heads, and the staff that have led us to this point, and the committee. So thank you all very much, and this was too big of a thing to let slide by on consent agenda, so thank you, Phil, for pulling it off. And so I guess we need a roll call.
Allen. Auger.
Yes.
Ferreira. Castro.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Donahue.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Heyman.
Yes.
O'Shea. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
Pizarro.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Molina.
Yes.
Pollock.
Yes.
Pepperell.
Yes.
Silva. Yes. Smith.
For the objection of a lot of my constituents, I will take my attorney's advice and vote yes.
Sure. Yes. Taylor. Yes. Vasquez.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes. Congratulations, and let's get moving. Okay, next we move on to executive session. We need to go into executive session to discuss personnel. So, Mr. Vasquez?
Before we do that, I just want to clean up the agenda. Number 7 is going to be striked out because it is part of executive. Is that correct? It's not a separate item?
Yeah, number 7 is related to executive session, so we'll just treat them both as one under number 6. If that's okay?
Thank you. And yes, make a motion, we move executive.
Okay. Moved by Mr. Vasquez to go into exec, second by Ms. Starrett. Roll call.
Ellen. Auger.
Yes.
Ferreira. Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Young. Heyman.
Yes.
O'Shea. Yes. Kenyon. Yes. Pizarro.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Pollock. Yes. Sheffield.
Yes.
Silva. Smith. Yes. Starrett.
Yes.
Taylor. Yes. Vasquez.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We are out of executive session, and I would like to ask for a motion. This is in reference to appointing the new animal control director, resolution 14-250. I need a motion. Moved by Dr. Silva, second by Susan Starrett. with support from Ms. Taylor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Sorry, we worked for this one.
Mr. Brett Youngstead as our new director of the animal control facility.
We need a roll call.
You want to do a roll call? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Allen. Auger.
Yes.
Ferrero. Yes. Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Donahue. Yes. Ford.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Heyman.
Yes.
Bochet. Yes. Kenyon.
Yes.
Nazari.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock. Yes. Jeffro.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
C.
That's what.
We need an interpreter.
We're going to have to get an interpreter.
Pay $700 now.
Yeah, man.
Okay, the motion passes. We have appointed a new director. To the members of the press, I believe Director Jeffers has press packets, and I'm available to answer questions as well as Member Starrett and Dr. Molina. Dr. Silva, I'm sorry. Just promoted, Mark. Speakers for non-agenda items. I don't see anybody in the audience. We'll move on to Mr. Kenyon. Do you have
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. He stole.
It's his birthday. It's his birthday. He gets dispensation because it's his birthday.
Mr. Kenyon moves. Mr. Heyman seconds.
We still work together.
It's a team effort. It's a bipartisan team effort.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you.